great morning.
Great morning.
Great morning.
And welcome back to another episode of Great Morning. I'm your host, Christian Mermer, Merms, Mermdog, whatever the fuck you wanna call me. And to the bottom of my computer screen, we have the Fact Queen, my sister from the East, that Puerto Rican mamacita from Spanish Harlem, Stephanie 2.0. How you doing today?
I'm good. I have family over, so I'm outside right now. And Landon started school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he started school.
What grade is he in?
He's in kindergarten.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so of course he's sick. So
yeah. Well, that's okay.
It begins. You know, Justin and Elena, they're in, doing high school shit per usual. You know, and Grandma, she's being a trooper as it is.
Good.
And that's pretty much it.
I like how we're all wearing the Great Morning shirts.
A lot of positives.
We got it on. Yeah. I have it. My jersey's over it, but I have it on, and
we're very branded right now.
The last two recordings, I forgot to wear it, and I have two of them. I got the black one and the red one, and I got a sweatshirt. I guess I can start wearing that soon too. But yeah, I'm glad to see everyone.
I need to buy that olive one. That one is just, that shit is fire.
I have the one with our poster on it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, do we have that one in olive?
I haven't even seen it yet. How does it feel?
I only wore it a couple times, but I'm going to start wearing it more now because it's getting colder. When I did put it on, I remember it being comfortable.
Yeah, good quality.
Didn't shrink in the wash or nothing. It was pretty good. But we don't need to promote these sweatshirts right now. I just want to see that comes at the end of the podcast. So anyway, let me go ahead. Stephanie, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to hear from you. And to the left of my computer screen, we have the boss, the pimp, the CEO, the chief, slightly special himself, Jimmy the Shooter. How you doing today?
Doing really well, man. I'm really, 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 really well.
Okay.
How are you?
Because are you just lying to the listeners, or because you before this, I'm pretty sure you told us like you haven't slept in 7 weeks or something like that.
3 years, 3 decades, or something like that. No, it has been a very long week, right? It's been a long week. I haven't really gotten much sleep. I think since Wednesday, I've racked up about 9 or 10 hours of sleep. But on a positive note, it's all for the best, it's all for good things, a lot of shit's getting done. Excited about that. That's really all I have to say.
Okay, great.
I'm a little disoriented right now.
I got you. Yeah, it's probably because of that lack of sleep. No, that's great, man. I hope you get some sleep too, but I'm glad you're working on some stuff. While we wait, we actually our person is not here right now, but we I believe someone actually is coming into this call soon. And before they get here, I figured we could discuss something I saw the other day. Well, the other day being yesterday, I watched Netflix's Blonde. Do you guys know what that is?
No.
That's the new Marilyn Monroe movie.
When did it come out? Like, when did it drop?
Like a few days ago. So it's very new. Andrew Dominic directed it, who's only directed 3 other movies, but I love all his movies. They're really weird. They're really good, but it was a fucking trip, man. Like that movie, like that's one of those movies you watch once and then never again because it's very, very, very depressing. It's very sad.
Really?
It's like it's like, imagine this. It's like, Jimmy, I'm going to make a movie about your life. But everything in the movie is just going to be everything terrible that ever happened to you. So it's just going to be a 2.5 hour long nightmare. Just like,
that sounds fucking horrible.
It was rough, dude. I
thought Marilyn Monroe was like she's like an idol. You know what I mean? Like people idolize Marilyn Monroe.
But she had a lot of problems.
Good question.
Yeah.
Is she really Mexican?
The actress Ana de Armas, she's Cuban American.
No, because I don't know. I read somewhere where they were saying that she was like Mexican or some shit like that.
Oh, Marilyn Monroe. I don't think so. Yeah, no, I think she was like Scottish English, like ancestry. What?
Nothing.
Okay. But yeah, it was really I like to talk about movies every once in a while. You guys, I don't know if you should check it out. It's very dark. It's a very dark film, and it didn't get the greatest reviews, but I hit all his movies don't get great reviews at first, and then they do really well later on. Like they're those kinds of movies where it's like it comes out at first, people are like, and then like 3 years later, they're like, this is actually a really good movie. And that happened with his last three, and then it's the same with this one. And I realized why a lot of critics were shitting on it, if I'm being honest. And a lot of it probably has to do with how they played JFK out. JFK does not look like a good person in that film. So
did JFK and Marilyn Monroe like have a thing?
Yes, and that was known for a while. He was listen, we don't talk about politics here, but like he was a huge womanizer. He cheated all the time, constantly had girls visit him, famous girls, beautiful girls. And there was something especially known with her. And it just makes him he doesn't look good in that movie. It's not a good light on JFK. So I'm sure that's why a lot of it was, there's a lot of critics saying like, well, we didn't really like it because of, this reason, but it's really because of that. And it could have been shorter too. I don't know. It's weird though. It's like living through someone's nightmare. It was a really weird fucking movie. And I'm kind of happy I saw it, but I'd never watch it again. It's one of those.
So would you recommend it to the people to watch?
Yes, because I would give it a 7 out of 10 if we're doing a rating like that. Maybe a 6.5 out of 10, but either way, it's still just barely above average. 5 is average. So it was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't amazing, but it was good. And I would recommend it. I would recommend going into it though with be prepared that it's not fun. It's not fun at all. There's not even like scenes where like they try to make light of something like someone's joking around or something. It's like, no, it's
just rough. Bad.
It's rough for like 2 and it's long. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. And it's just rough.
My goodness.
Her childhood was rough. Her marriages were rough. The end of her career was rough. And then she died.
But that's the thing about media though. It's like perception, right? Like, cause there had to have been some good point of time in Marilyn Monroe. Like Marilyn Monroe is the staple for she was at least a staple for like generations on end. Like,
yeah,
it was all about
she's
Marilyn
an icon,
Monroe.
like you said.
Yeah, she's an icon living.
That's one of the problems I did have, because there's no way like she didn't have good times in her life. Like that's not realistic. So that was one of the problems I had, because like I said, the movie makes it look like some perpetual nightmare. And there's no way it was like that all the time. I'm not saying she had a good life though. Like it's been known for a while she had a rough time, and she had mental issues, and her mother was fucking crazy, and their marriages weren't good, and she didn't like how she was looked at in the public, like some sexy slut, and then test. Is bad. But I just heard someone saying test. I think we have someone here with us in the podcast right now. Do you guys think it's time?
I think it's time.
Stephanie, you think it's time?
I think it's motherfucking time.
I also believe it is time to introduce our guest, a returning guest from last season. He just said, my bad. How you doing today, man? Wall Street Shooter, man.
Good. What's happening? Happy Sunday. Yeah, today's Sunday. Happy Sunday to you guys.
Happy Sunday indeed. Sorry, I know we're trying to we're gonna fix our recording days, because I know we were a little unprepared when we were like, oh shit, football season's starting. So Sundays.
Tis the season.
Tis the season. So
I got a little lucky today though on that, because my Rams don't play until 5 today. 5.
Yeah, I'm lucky too, because my Patriots don't play until 4.
You said your Rams, you became a friend last year?
Oh no, I'm from St. Louis originally. So
I'm just messing with you.
I think they're actually I think they're following me, because like it was a hard childhood coming up being a Rams fan, because wherever they were in the Midwest, it was just a terrible experience. We never won. I think we won a Super Bowl in 99.
Yeah, you got that one. I think it was 98, 97, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah,
something around that time. And you won it actually in Georgia too, in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I remember that.
And now
great time. But those back in like Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce. You know what I mean? Like they just had the goats.
Is it 2 Super Bowls now that they're in California, or 3? One. Oh, okay.
One.
There was 2.
Bowl, yeah. No.
But you've gone to the Super Bowl a couple times though, right?
Shooter, what's your team, man?
Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, you guys are actually the Bills right now.
We're playing.
I'm tripping.
We're
tripping.
playing
No,
the
the
Browns.
That's the Ravens. That's the Ravens.
Ravens are
playing the Bills.
We're playing the Browns right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How they doing?
Oh, that's
Let me look.
It's tied right now, 10-10. Halftime. It's not bad.
How are the Falcons this year?
We're trash. It's a rebuild, man. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, they're telling all the fans that we're gonna play hard football and be competitive, which is fine, but at the end of the day, it's a rebuild. I mean, you get rid of Julio, we trade Matt Ryan away. I mean, you don't have but one person from the Super Bowl team. I mean, it's a rebuild. It is what it is, man. And I embrace it. I embracing it, enjoying it, still rooting for them. It's a fun team, actually. I'm kind of excited about this team because they're super young and they got a lot of fight and a lot of grit in them. So it's kind of cool to watch this team compared to the last 2 teams that were just like they're collecting a paycheck, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
I feel, we'll stop talking about football here in a second because, this isn't a sports podcast. I know, we try not to do that, but I'm really concerned for the Patriots, which, I know no one gives a shit about being a Patriots fan, but I'm concerned that we will never, ever have that dynasty again. We will never have that, like it's over. Like I'm really afraid of that. And I hope one day we can get back to it, but it's.
Damn, bro, you won 5 championships.
6.
6, my bad. I mean, Jesus, dude. Like,
I know, but I mean, hey, man, if you're a fan, you gotta keep hoping. So, but I mean, I'm scared. I mean, I guess it's over. But like it's bad. Like I have a feeling like I'm not gonna see the Patriots go to the Super Bowl again for like another 40 years or something.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing about all right, so Patriot fans, to me, they're kind of like the next American team next to like Dallas Cowboy fans, quote unquote. Here's what I'm saying before you get on my shit, right? So Dallas, everyone's like, oh yeah, Dallas Cowboys is America's football team. No, Dallas, the only reason Dallas Cowboys are even like able to get the drafts that they're able to do is because like they're never going to lose on merchandise. Like they'll always sell out because like they have diehard fans. But Patriot fans, even though the team was really good for a really long time, that's kind of like the tier of like, well, you know what, Patriots, let's go. This is America. This is what we're doing.
I don't know, man.
It was a good team. It was actually a good team. So like you want to go for like an American team that's like not an American team, quote unquote, but like, yeah, Patriots.
I know. I take solace in that, knowing that I was alive during that time to see them be amazing. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, that's enough football talk. We got to talk about you, man. We haven't seen you in a minute. First of all, tell us how you've been doing. What have you been up to since we last talked to you? Tell the listeners what's up.
It has been a minute, man. And, I'm just staying tapped in, staying locked in, man. Trading, stocks, market, family, all in that, not in that particular order, man. But since then, I believe I only had 1 kid. Now I have 2 little girls.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. I got it. They just appreciate it. So my eldest is now 3 and my youngest just turned 1. They're both August babies, 14th and the 22nd. So
I thought you were about to say they're both Australian.
I was about to say that, man. I was trying to get my thoughts together.
2 birthdays, huh? Right there.
Yeah, man. So we just do a whole weekend of birthdays. That'd be the first and last time we'll do separate birthdays.
Yep.
Moving forward, we'll be doing combined birthdays, and we're just gonna have to get to
smart. That's very, very smart.
That's good financial thinking on your part, right there.
Man, and it's only but fair because my 3-year-old is in this whole mine and everything belongs to her. So we just wanted to make sure that the 1-year-old will have her day before we start combining and everything. So that happened.
Okay.
Still trading, still doing crypto. I think I had the Discord when I first interviewed with you guys. That's been going well. Been teaching a lot. Been doing a lot of one-on-one coursing, teaching people how to do stock options, etc. And I wrote a book. I just released a book.
What?
Yeah, I wrote a book. It's actually a crypto book.
No, oh my God! Wow.
Where can we get it? Wait, actually, you know what?
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
man.
we'll talk about that later. I'm
Wow.
sorry, but like, yes, I would love a copy of that. I will get that as soon as I can.
For sure.
And I would love it if you could sign it as well. That'd be really cool.
Well, we went ebook. We went ebook.
Oh, gotcha.
Ebook.
Didn't crypto like outrank tech companies for like the third quarter of the year or some shit like that?
Yes, they actually did outrank the tech companies. But you'd be surprised. I mean, the tech's been carrying this whole bear market. I was talking a few months ago, right when we were pretty much at like the just bloodiest months in the stock market. If we're going to get out of this bear market, it's going to be on the back of the earnings of big tech companies. And as you saw during that whole big tech week, it was like 2 weeks where you had Apple, Tesla, NVIDIA, all the big boys, and they were pretty much lifting us through the bear market. But overall, man, we can't beat the whole R word, right? The recession. I don't care. They haven't announced it. I understand that. But the stats and statistics show that we're definitely in a phase of the recession, regardless if they're not going to admit it or not. And we know why. If you don't know why, we've got the middies coming up, mid-elections coming up, and nobody wants to hear that word while they're in their mid-elections, right? But they're going to talk about it. So get ready. But we're definitely there. December, January timeframe, big R words coming out. Just be prepared, man.
It's rough. The prices for a lot of shit have gone up. I've seen gas go down a little bit, but the thing about gas that people forget about is it always goes down a little bit after the summer, just because there's less distance driving anyway in the country. So it always goes down a little bit after the summer, but it hasn't gone down a substantial amount. And yeah, I mean, the prices for other things have gone up, and it's the R word is here. It's coming. It's
definitely here.
It's here.
Definitely here. It's
and,
here now.
It's scary. I was actually, that's one of my first questions I wanted to get into with you is how long, I guess I should say it like that. How long do you think, and I know it's so hard to predict, but how long do you think it'll be until the market gets straight again and even goes up? Because like, right now I'm looking at an article right now.
Sure.
And it's like an all-time low. I read something that September, it was like the worst September since September in 2002 or something like that.
Yeah, it's been pretty bloody, man. And to your question, I don't know, man. I don't like to play the prediction game, right? Because that's very dangerous. Yep. Especially if there's listeners here that are new to the stock market or crypto market, and they're looking for a little hint of financial advice to start buying. Yeah. But if I was to have to, I mean, I'm looking at it like this. This is how I'm preparing myself. Currently, I'm not buying a lot of stocks. I'm buying some crypto here. I'm stacking a lot of dry powder. Dry powder is pretty much slang words or lingo words for the market guys of putting money aside, right? If I had to put a time frame on it, right? And for those who are listening, this is not set in stone.
No, of course not.
This is not financial advice or anything like that. Please do your own research. If I had to put a time frame on it, I'm prepared to see in the market change anywhere between 2024 early Q1 and 2025. And 2025 would be more so for cryptocurrency for the next bull cycle, just based off of how Bitcoin operates in a 4-year phase. So for stocks, I'm looking like 2024, first quarter, maybe quarter 2, and then maybe late 2024 crypto, early 2025 for the bull run.
And for the listeners, when you say Q1, you mean quarter 1, right?
Quarter one.
Physical year.
Yeah,
so
fiscal year. Yeah, quarter 1.
Is that January, February, March, or is that
January, February, March, April? Nice. Yeah.
All right. So
January, February, March 3.
Well, I got some political news on that, right? We're not going to talk too much politics, but I do have like a little insight on some things right now.
You got to tread carefully.
Yeah, we're treading super carefully. I'm not going to be like, F Biden.
Yeah, I
would never, because I would never get on the podcast and be like, F Biden, Biden's trash, right? I would never be like, Biden, you're trash, and say that. I'm not Biden, you're trash on my own podcast.
We just joke about it.
I'm not serious when I say like Biden, you're trash. Like there's no heartfelt trash Biden, trash, right? However, moving into like the global thing, right? So I'm not sure if a lot of people realize this, but October 15th, maybe even October 16th, I'm gonna actually have to fact check today Mermsey, if you want to pull it up on Google. But
What do you want
President
me to look up?
President G, right? So he's coming out with a new law within China that is going to basically establish him as the leader until he dies. So you're looking into a huge, I'm not gonna say communism political party, but China's gonna slowly start turning almost into like a North Korea in a way, where like Kim Jong-un is like the leader for until he dies and passes. China's about to do that. So instead of doing 4-year elections, he's basically going to sign off a law that says he will be in power indefinitely. Now, there's a lot of things up in the air when it comes to like if he does or does not have cancer. But one thing that he said he will do before he dies, like his entire legacy is going to be based off of whether or not they're able to get Taiwan to reunite with China. So China basically takes over Taiwan. And like a little bit of history in this, sorry to be boring on a podcast, a little bit of history of this is Taiwan, the original party of China. Whenever the original party of China did leave to Taiwan and decided to make their own claims, we had two different regimes. So China, like the Taiwanese are no longer claiming that they're Chinese. They're saying we're Taiwanese. You know what I mean? But China's like, no, your ancestry is from here. So they feel like they have a belonging. Anyway, there's a strait that goes between China and Taiwan. 80% of everything that flows throughout the entire world, like when it comes to like trade, like a trade route, goes through that strait. And Taiwan, they're the largest distributor of anything with a power button. There's like a little microchip that you put in like certain products or whatever. I don't know. They have something that's like a little microchip that apparently is detrimental to anything with a power button, which is pretty much everything. But if China owns the strait between China and Taiwan, they are going to now control like over 70% of the trade. If they control over 70% of the trade, like right now we're in a recession, but our recession is like what, 1.5 to 2.6% of that range. If China controls that strait and then they decide to chokehold anything, you're looking at a 20% inflation rate, which means like your generations, your grandchildren's generations, the generations after that, it's hard because right now our inflation's really not insane. You're looking at like a 2.6% max. I know I said 2.5, but you're looking at like a maximum 2.6%. 20%, you're looking at $30 for bacon. Just because China can say so.
I mean, bacon's right now $15, bro.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
It's already a little pricey.
So, yeah, you're $1,000 for some bacon grease, Mike. Breakfast. But it's crazy.
I have a question though for all this. And this is going to sound crazy at first, but hear me out. Here's a solution, and it might not work. And I want someone to tell me why this is not a solution and just a crazy idea of mine.
Yeah.
What is stopping? And I think I know, but I mean, like, what is stopping American businesses from just leaving China and coming here and doing it here, doing everything here? That way, trading with China is at a minimum or to nothing, and we don't have to worry about something like that. What is stopping that? Does anyone know? I don't know. That's why it's not a rhetorical question.
This is where conspiracy theories come into play.
But I think the answer might be because it's just cheaper labor in China. Like
it's definitely a cost thing, right? So yes. I mean, you talk about manufacturer costs. If you ever got into merch or even paid attention to, some of the biggest corporations, Nike, Adidas, they all are manufacturing overseas, right?
Yep.
Big Nike, one of the biggest. Oh, my daughters are here.
That's fine. Well, we understand.
She's like, blow up these balloons. I'm talking about China and cost.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Nike, one of the biggest companies in apparel, shoe, etc. Right? Even technology, if you want to throw them in there, and we don't have big manufacturing. I mean, I can't even think of a big manufacturing company in the United States besides Ford, GM, et cetera. Right. So when you're looking at cost efficiency, and I've been in the apparel market, I've done business overseas as well too, because it's just cheaper when you're trying to get apparel done here in the United States. It's like, yeah, it's made in the United States, hoorah, right? All that. But then, if I'm getting a bunch of sweatshirts made, I'm paying $13, $14, $15 per shirt. Yep. And how can I turn around and sell that sweatshirt for 20, 25 bucks. You can make some profit, but in reality, I'm going to have to sell that shirt or a sweatshirt for $40, $45 to really make margins. But if I can go overseas, and I'm talking, I mean, China, Taiwan, Pakistan, like all those major manufacturers over there, and I can get sweatshirts made for $3, $4, and then I can come back and sell it for 25, 30 bucks. I mean, those are great margins. So it just comes down to just being cost efficient. And people say, well, the manufacturing over there sucks. It really doesn't, right? That's just the narrative to get you to come over to America and shop higher. At the end of the day, as a business owner, the name of the game is buy low, sell high, right? So it's definitely costs. There's contracts that have been in place way before we were born, dealing with these major corporations such as Nike. I mean, we even work with Sony. Sony's one of the big chip manufacturers. Why do we have chip manufacturers in the United States? Why are we still working with Sony? Cost, right? Relationships. Yeah, baby, you can color. Wait, color on what?
Color. No, but to kind of talk about that a little bit, I love that you brought that up. There's kind of a double-edged sword on that, right? One thing that I love is like, yeah, you get to buy low and sell high when everything's over in China. Like, for example, it's kind of like letting big brother let little brother do the wrong thing just so big brother kind of wins. It's like, you know, the big brother's like, hey, go over there and throw this rock at this window, and all costs are on little brother. When you're talking about the market and trade and stuff like that, like you have to look, man, like China, like they produce iPhones, right? But they also have children that are 13, 14 years old cleaning 2,000 screens a day for like 30 cents. You know what I mean? Because they know that their family needs it and they're going to do it, right? But at the same time, the caveat is you get to buy low, sell high with that margin. But there's a huge thing in global trade right now. So, like, for example, let's talk about something that everybody kind of knows, especially when it comes to drop shipping. Like, you look at a company like Alibaba, right? You got Alibaba Express and all that stuff. You could sell, like, you know, you could drop ship from Alibaba. But unless you're one of those predominant companies like Sony, kind of like you said, you're not going to get a quick turnaround. You're going to look at like, yeah, you buy low, sell high, but that sweater's coming 5, 6, 7 weeks, you know what I mean, after the order's placed. Whereas I feel like, you know, if you kind of value the customers a little bit more, there's a little bit more safer margin. And in the aspect of like, you order something online, you're going to get it within 5 to 7 business days, right? That's kind of like what people want. Or you can get quick shipping. And that's a benefit. That's the only benefit to buying all American products, right? Is that you can buy a sweater that's made in Tennessee and it'll get to California within 5 days. Vice, you buy a sweater in China and now you have ships getting stuck in straits and all this other stuff. And like, you know, you're dealing with like the global aspect of trade, and it's going to take 2-3 months down the line. And then it shows up on your doorstep and you're like, oh shit, that's right. I did get that. Right. So it's definitely a double-edged sword. But if we do bring businesses back, right, like small businesses within America, if people can just kind of lower their ego a little bit, because like I said, I feel like it's a conspiracy thing, man. Like people want to take advantage of everything. You're either taking advantage of time or you're taking advantage of product.
I was gonna ask that too, because like I'm glad we're kind of on the same page, because like right now it seems like the only solution to it is everyone sucks it up and they're like, all right, we're only gonna buy like American or European and Canadian stuff. That way we can keep it all here. Or the companies come back from selling overseas and, you know, having their companies overseas and doing it here in America and having to, you know, unfortunately charge more and, you know, pay their, you know, employees more. And it doesn't seem realistic, but it seems like the only kind of solution we have to this problem right now, because obviously this is only going to get worse, right? It's not going to get better, right? It can't get better. It's not going to get better, right? Just like buying everything from another country that at some point it's going to be like they own us.
You got to look long term. Let's talk principles of war, right? This is like I'm going to give as much as I can away with a public confidential clearance, I guess. But let's say right now, China is producing ships, naval vessels, right? 600% faster than America.
Okay.
Right. 600% times faster than America. Whereas
like they're building them faster.
They are building moving faster. They do have the largest fleet in the world. They don't have the experience. They don't have the expertise. They go by script. They have You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have everything down. They're not learned. They haven't learned like we learned. We're like, all right, so we wait, we see, you know what I mean? Like we're not, we don't plan. They go by like script.
We train a lot. They don't.
We train and we've been like, let's be real, man. America's been fucking shit up since at least
for a long time.
America's been America. You know what I'm saying?
When it comes to that Navy stuff, for sure.
When it comes to that Navy shit, yeah, for sure. We've been fucking shit up for a long time. But let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about longevity. Let's talk about how China's thinking a little bit. If you can mass produce a ship way faster than your opponent, I'm talking like detrimentally faster than your fucking opponent. You think that first strike is going to matter? Because at the end of the day, regardless, let's say we go to war and we have risks, right? And I'm not talking like ORM risk, which stands for like operational risk management. I'm talking about like you have risk where you say, if I send this ship in, I'm willing to lose this ship, this crew for this, right? For strategically, so we can do X, Y, Z. Right. Cool. We sink 75% of China's ships. China sinks 20% of our ships. We are going to take way longer to get our assets in place, whereas China, 3 to 5 years later, are ready to come back with the same fleet, if not a little bit more. That 25% plus 100% of that, 600% more mass production. You know what I'm saying? So right now, there's a huge thing where it's like we are really trying to shut down Zay, or however the fuck you say his name, from taking over Taiwan, from choking the economy, because if he chokes the economy and then we do go to war, which is kind of inevitable, right? Because that's like his life goal. But you're looking at an opponent that's going to not only like give you a quick lightning war, like a quick strike, but you're looking at somebody who's going to be able to go to the corner, get brushed off, spit in the cup, you know what I mean? Get the blood off his face, and then come back while you're still extremely exhausted. And I don't know if you've ever played Fight Night on a PlayStation, but when your player is extremely exhausted, you're not going to win.
I understand
that X button's coming slow.
And that's a good analogy, but that's what I'm getting at is like, I don't even think it would lead to war because they just make so much money off of us anyway. Like, why go to war with something you're profiting?
You're already making money off of.
Because you're making money.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So they love the fact that they're making money off of us, but at the same time, they're not. They're just accumulating enough debt to where they can. It's like what they're doing in Africa. They're accumulating enough debt.
That's a whole other story.
Eventually, it's going to be like, you owe us. So what do? You move in, right? That's what we're doing because, yeah, they're not making money. What they're doing is they're literally consolidating our debt. We're not paying anybody back. We're not even paying ourselves back. We're like, at this point in time, right now, the way the economy is flowing is we are giving enough money to bank on taxes and tax write-offs just to get a large enough lump sum. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not making money. We're printing off federal funds that's going to eventually create a depression.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I don't know. I'm not an expert either, man.
I'm not an expert, but that's why I want to. Shooter, what do you?
None of this is Shooter. What?
And this is none of this is financial advice.
None of this is financial advice. I'm not an expert, and I'm not
it's kind of taken a strange turn.
Shooter, what do you think? What do you think, Shooter?
What do you think about all this?
What do you think is going to happen?
I'm kind of leaning towards your sentiment and looking at the big picture, long-term picture, but I'm also leaning towards Christian as well too. Like, why would you mess with your biggest, let's say, customer, right?
Yeah. Essentially, pretty much.
Essentially, I mean, we're pretty much their biggest customer, right? Yeah. We're not a partner. We don't have a partnership, or maybe we do have a partnership. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh God, we're going.
Who's conspiracy theories around?
I mean, we can get into the whole conspiracy theory later, but no, I mean, why would you? I'm like I said, long term, yeah, it could get to that point where, you know, if Taiwan do decide, and I mean, Russia's already in bed with China, allegedly, and if they get Taiwan, I mean, yeah, you can definitely see our economy suffer due to the fact of that majority of our biggest companies are overseas dealing with their manufacturers, or even import export, mostly export, right? But I'm also on the other side of the fence of, you know, if you look at it, and I hate to put this into analogy, but, you know, in a sense of, you know, if you're in the dope game, right? And you got your best corner boy out there hustling, and you got somebody that's not a good hustler, or your least favorite corner boy that's not putting out money, and they both get hit, who you going to get out first? Who you bailing out first? So we're the best corner boy for China right now. So, you know, if the end goal of his legacy is to go to war with us and NATO, then I mean, shit, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all want that type of smoke, let's see it. Let's see how it plays out. I'm very confident in us. I don't know about everybody else in NATO, but I'm pretty confident in Navy. I'm pretty confident in the United States.
That's a great sentence.
But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we're all in bed with each other in some type of way. We don't know what type of underlying handshakes or underlying agreements or any of that when it comes to financial, right? If he gets to one day he wake up and be like, you know what, hey Putin, it's time. Let's flip the switch. Then, you know, they flip the switch and then we just see what happens afterwards. Unfortunately, a lot of people gonna die. It's gonna be mass casualties, and at the end of it is based on greed, power, and money, man. That's what it just comes boiled down to.
But I don't feel like I don't feel. I'm sorry to cut you off, man.
Oh, you're good.
China and Russia, they don't have the best relation. They're not allies, right? Like, Russia doesn't want to see China be the superpower, but China doesn't want to see Russia be the superpower. Russia doesn't really have like a fleet and a force, right? And then China's got a fleet and a force. Russia is good at cyber. Like, they are extremely good at cybersecurity. So if China's like, hey, Russia, like, let's say we get some shit down and we're like, hey, China, can you give us some, or hey, Russia, can you give us some intelligence? Russia might just be like, I don't know, man. She might fucking wind out. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they don't like each other, but the enemy of your enemy, that's
the weird thing, because it's a triangle right now. It's a pyramid of superpowers. So it's not one against the other. It's like, who do we want? Who do we think is not going to fuck with us the most that we could side with here?
Yeah. And the scariest thing is when Russia invaded Ukraine, China didn't think like, oh, Russia, you shouldn't invade it. China was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You guys are stupid. You publicize your attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course this is going to happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. Who knows? That's enough about politics and global.
Yeah. Let's, you know what?
We got to switch it up. I can talk about it all day.
But here, it's actually time. I think it's time. We have other questions coming up written down, but I think it's time. Jimmy, do you think it's time to do something? To do something with words here? You think it's time?
Oh, I think it's time.
Man, here we go.
We're coming back. We coming back?
And Stephanie, do you think it's time? What's going on? You think it's time? Oh, now she froze. Never mind. Jeez. The hell's going on over there, Stephanie? You okay? Anyway, Shooter, I think it's time that we do one of our favorite segments we like to do here at Great Morning, and that is, of course, the word of the day.
Oh man.
Word of the day. Oh,
y'all gave me something funky last time, and I can't even remember what it was. Is that the Game of Thrones Bible?
Hey, man. It's a relic.
What is that?
So that's the big old dick. Shooter, you were here last time to do the word of the day, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it again because it's kind of changed slightly since season 3, and just so the listeners listening in can hear the rules again. So how it works is Jimmy's going to open up the big old dick there, right? It's a very old dictionary that's been Jimmy's family for 5,000 years. So he's going to open it up to a random page. He's going to put his finger down on that page. He's going to lift his finger up, and whatever his finger landed on will be our word of the day. Jimmy will then give you, the definition. He will spell the word for us. If it's an archaic word, I will look it up on my end and see what a modern day definition of the word is and then tell you that. Your job afterwards is to then use that word in a sentence. Now, with season 4 of Great Morning, we are grading these sentences for our season finale on 3 specific criteria: how funny the sentence was, how creative the sentence was, and of course, if you use the word correctly. So if you hit all 3 of those, it's going to be a great sentence. If you hit some of them, it's going to be good. You know how it works. You've done it before. So do you understand these rules?
Yeah, let's get it, man.
Hell yeah. And Jimmy, whenever you're ready, let's hear that word of the day.
All right. And if you can view my Bible or my freaking dictionary.
I really want to know where you got this book from.
My grandmother. So
really?
Yeah, I'll get into the history of it after. I was super cool, super crazy grandma. Bam, rear.
Like to the rear, like a rear of a car.
Oh shit, my bad. Rear arc.
What?
My finger was covering her up the other side. Rear arch.
Can you just spell it?
REAR space ARCH. Rear arch.
Yeah, rear arc.
Like the foot.
Like
the rear arch.
The definition in this is the arch carrying the inner part of the thickness of a wall. When the exterior face is carried differently, as where a door piece or window piece is elaborated and designed, leaving half or more of the thickness of the wall to be supported apart from it. Rear arc.
Okay, so common common day definition is an inner arch of an opening, as for a door or window, that differs in size or form from the external arch of the opening. So here, let me help you out. I'm gonna share my screen. Let me pull up a picture for you. Can you?
Okay, cool.
So you're on your computer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to. So let me do this for us. Let me type this in, and because this is, of course. Oh man, it would have been so much better if it was just rear. I was like almost excited. I'm like, oh, he's got a pretty good one, and Jimmy's like,
Man.
no,
Yeah, man.
I moved the finger. There's more to this word. Of course there is. So, all right, here, let me share my screen with you guys, and it's sharing. Can you see this?
I see you sharing, but there's nothing on there yet.
It should just give
There
me
we
a
go.
second. There we go. Okay, cool. So it's like this. It looks like mostly it goes for like this area. And can you see my
Yeah, I
mouse?
got you.
Like this part of a tire, like the above the tire of the car. So yeah, that's your word of the day. There we go.
Dude.
Rough out here.
Goddamn dictionary. All right.
You know, I could make a shake. I think you can make a shake too.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you might say
Oh
something that he
man.
can use. I know. All right.
You just got to
Something's
get creative, man.
There we go.
There's no rules if it makes sense.
Sure, I got that. I'm thinking about the whole funny aspect of it because this
Yes.
is. Can you put that picture back up, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, of course.
Trying to get some inspiration.
I'll keep it up. I'll just keep it up until we're done with the word of the day. There we go. Just give it a second. It should be up.
And you're looking for like a sentence. Like I just can't even like. Can I just blurt out something? Like
You can
Whatever you want.
like can I make like a like?
It's your word.
It's my
your
word.
It's your day.
it's
This
got
is
it's got to
word.
be a sentence, but
I
people
was-
have given us songs or like
I was gonna put it in like a story content.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, yeah, absolutely.
like
That
two
works.
people were talking type.
Okay, yeah, you can do
Is that
that.
cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to write this down though.
I don't need to write it. It's recording.
Yeah,
I'll write it
it
down
is
later.
recorded. Write it down later.
It's gonna be
I'll write it
recorded.
down later.
We're gonna review the audio.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, Jimmy. I need you on this. All right. I need you to be a homie because I'm gonna tell a story, and I just need you to answer. I need you to provide like context or like emotion or whatever the case may be. Right.
I'm
gonna do most of the-
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do most of the talking. Okay.
This is already.
Yeah. This is outside of the box already. I like it.
I already
Okay.
like this.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You're
I just this is totally improv. No, improv. All right. You ready? Here we go.
We're
I'm
ready.
ready.
Jimmy, what's up, man?
Hey, yo, what up, Doc?
Hey, man, you can't even believe this, man. I was out spinning the block the other day.
She
Came across this little shorty, man.
word.
He was looking really like vibish and everything.
Word.
So, you know, I just got the new whipper, right? So I came through and I was in the X6 BM. I pulled that one out the garage. So I
shit.
busted a right?
Right.
And this damn dog ran across the street, my boy.
Dang.
So he ran across the street. So I had to swerve back left. So I don't hit the little motherfucker you did because I don't want to
Yeah.
get PETA involved. So I ain't want to go ahead and splat him against the concrete, right?
I don't even fuck with people like that though.
But when I swerved back to the left, my boy,
Yep.
I messed around and ran into that taco shop and hit my rear arch, bruh. I mean,
God.
caved the 22 into the
Dang.
rear arch, bent it all up, my boy.
God damn, my boy, that's crazy, my boy. That shit says splat, my boy. God damn.
But then you know the crazy thing about it?
What that?
The dog ran by, looked at me, gave me the side eye, took a
Mhm.
shit right there and kept it pushing.
Oh my goodness, god damn, boy.
So here
That's
I am.
a bad day, my boy.
So here I am, rear arch hanging off the motherfucker. I mean, just hanging away, dangling away, man. My 22 scratched all the way up, rear arch on the ground, dog.
I ain't been fucking with hanging since the 1800s, my boy.
Oh my god.
Hey, but on the bright side, I went to the taco shop,
Yep.
got me 3 surfing turfs, so everything is all good.
Oh, that shit sounds great, my boy.
That's it. That's all I got.
Wow. You know what? That was
I hear
actually
hot shit.
that was great. That was really good.
Great,
Uh,
great job.
Yeah,
Great
that
job.
that was really good.
Appreciate it,
Definitely
guys.
got some
Appreciate it.
creative points there. That was great. That's actually really refreshing. We haven't had a good That was good. All right, cool. I'm gonna be happy to grade that one.
That was the first time I've ever been invited to someone's wedding.
That's why I'm saying people
out of the box, man.
It's very out of as long as you say more than just the word, it is acceptable. So
I think that was the best way to kind of explain that, man. That word was already thrown off. Like if I would have had the rear,
dope. That was just overall dope. Like that was so freaking creative. Man, that super appreciative. Thank you for that.
I'm excited for sure. That well, I mean, we're close to the end of the season, so people are going to get, they're going to be informed soon of who made it to the top 10 list. And
I don't know. Can I grade it or is that biased? Because I mean, that was fire.
Yes, you can, because you didn't know how that was going to go.
You didn't have a script. You just went with it, man.
You just went with it.
Wayne Brady it, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. So if you had known beforehand, yes, it would be unacceptable, but that was not the case. So that is fantastic. Thank you so much, Shooter, for that.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Really appreciate that. But let's get back into it. There was another thing we discussed. We kind of wanted to discuss about stocks. So, and it's funny because we tried not to get too much into politics before, and we totally fucked that up.
We jumped right into it.
We jumped right into it.
I think it was super great.
Yeah, I know you do, but I don't. I don't know if all the listeners like that, but I mean, it's fine. So, but I do have another question for you. And again, this is not biased. We're not going to put it on a Republican side or a Democrat side, but it does involve politics. A lot of people, right, they complain about how Congress people, right, they'll help push laws that help them pretty much like get a stock or a company bigger so they can put down money and invest in that stock, and then they make more money because they control the laws, right? And again, I'm not saying this happens more with Democrats or Republicans or both.
No, it's all of them, but go ahead.
It's all of them. So it really is. It's all of them. So I wanted to hear your opinion about that and how how we're not involved in politics. We're average every day-to-day working people here. And I like that about us because, we're not trying to preach anything to the people who listen to us. So I wanted to hear your honest opinion on how that works maybe. And then also how you think we can, help not fight against it, but help us also be able to make money through something like that.
I mean, overall, it's bogus as fuck, right?
Yes.
Like that shit is just totally whack. It makes no sense. They've been doing it for a long time. And I say they, I mean the collective of everyone in power, right?
Yes.
Any House member, Senate member, et cetera, they've been doing it for a long time. Yep. And the only reason why it's came to the forefront is because you have social media.
Yep.
Right. And I'm gonna go ahead and mention her name. I don't know if y'all want me to or not, but Nancy, good old Nancy.
I knew it too. I'm like,
let's talk about Nancy.
Let's talk about old Nancy. And this is all allegedly. I don't want nobody to get sued or anything for like defamation of character or whatnot. But at the end of the day, the reports is out. I mean, you're sitting in these meetings, especially when we're talking about the semiconductor bill that got passed, right? You're sitting in these meetings. You have all the information, regardless if you say that you don't, you do, right? There's no way that you're the House Speaker and don't know anything what's going on, what Biden and his people are putting together as far as the semiconductor. You understand that we're trying to, what we talked about, move from overseas manufacturing to being more competitive with in our own country, right? NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, et cetera, right?
Yes.
So you sat in these meetings, you know what's going on. Now, you may not put the money up out of your bank account, but you told your old sleepy ass husband about what's going on and he decides to invest. To me, that's insider trading. You had information before the public, gave him hey, elbow, nudge him a little bit. Hey, you might want to put $1 million up in NVIDIA or AMD or et cetera, knowing once that news hit Fox, CSNBC, et cetera, retail investors and other institutional investors were going to start pumping up and putting money towards NVIDIA, AMD. But you already in the play early with a nice position. So it's like, to me, it's whack. And the only reason why it came to the forefront is because retail investors have social media. They're getting the information. They're asking questions. They're adding the White House, Biden, and all this stuff. Hey, what's going on here? And now they're just like, yeah, we need to talk about that and come up with some rules and regulations about people actively sitting in these chairs in the stock market. No, like, don't make it seem like y'all care. Y'all been doing it for many, many years before we were born, right? They've been getting rich all this. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm kind of about to go on a rant here, is that you have these people in office in these chairs for 40 and 50 years. They have a set salary, but yet most of these people are millionaires, but their salaries don't reflect millionaires as far as what their job is.
Yeah.
Right.
Even the president only makes what, 400,000 a year?
Right. 400, something like that, or whatever the case may be. And here they are, got millions of dollars to put up in the stock market, real estate, this, that, and the third. I mean, these are the guys that setting the rules, man. As we're sitting here we're playing baseball and they're already on third and we're not even up to bat.
That's a great analogy. And it bothers me also when, like, first of all, they get away with doing stuff like that, but then sometimes they'll preach about like how like it's not good to let certain, like, say, like certain billionaires, you know, lobby in certain positions. Like they like to hate on Jeff Bezos,
Elon, Jeff, and all them. Yeah.
Jeff, right. And it's like, that's fine. You can hate Jeff Bezos. Like, everyone's allowed, you know, their opinion. I'm not going to say anything about it, but like, it's weird for them to say that. And then making fucking millions on the side. So it's, I don't know. Like I feel like we're becoming more and more knowledgeable about this stuff.
Yes, we definitely are.
And we're slowly not falling for the bullshit anymore.
Definitely not, man. Retail investors not the same type of retail investor as our mom and our dads were back in the day. Like, we have way too many resources. We have Google, we have YouTube, we have people out there that are mentoring people. We have people that are putting people on game about the stock market. We understand when the first step, when you're dealing with stock market or even the crypto market, you need to know who moves the market. It's the institutional money. Who are the institutional players? Millionaires. It's not us who move the stock market. We have that one Black Swan event, right, with GameStop and AMC, where a bunch of retail investors got together. Anyone listening, for you guys too, if you haven't watched Eat the Rich, the GameStop saga on Netflix, it's a freaking awesome doc about what happened back in January of 2021. It's a three-part series. They're about 45 minutes, maybe an hour or something like that. But it talks about how retail investors got together via Reddit, Wall Street bets, et cetera, and they just talked about the opportunity that came. Think about that opportunity, right? That happened. Congress wasted no time to sit your boy down from Wall Street Bets. What's his name? I just watched the freaking doc. His name is his Reddit name is Roaring Kitty. Nice. They pulled him in, and he was one of the guys that were talking about GameStop 7 months before the actual run up. And he sat in front of Congress and all them and said, "Hey, I like the stock. I talked about the stock. The stock was at $4. He had no inside trading or inside information. He just put it out there to the internet." Right. And to his point, he worked in securities. He worked on the market before. He said, I basically had a conversation with, let's say, thousands of people, the same way I would sit down with my colleagues and have conversations about stocks. I didn't tell people to go buy it. I let them know that I was buying it. It just took off. Right. But I ain't going to ruin the doc. The doc is very good. But going back to it, is like, well, they reacted so fast to that. Like, somebody had to pay. But here we are with Nancy and her cronies. They already getting rich under the cover, low key. And here we are. Now they want to make rules because all the retail investors, the middle America, is like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is not right. Right. How's these millionaires making more millions?
You think,
especially in a bear market, how are they making millions?
When it comes to Pelosi, you're like, do you feel like, because she really started getting rich back in 2008, right?
Right.
Like, her number one investment is real estate. And it just so happens that, like, there was a federal bailout plan, you know, and she was in politics in 2008, but there was a federal bailout plan in 2008. And like, however much she's worth, like millions and millions of dollars, like hundreds of millions of dollars, right? It just so happened that portfolio kicked off at that time. Like, you're going to
2008.
In 2008, like during the crash and the federal.
For those who don't know, 2008 housing market crash kicked off a recession.
Yeah. So it does make you think a lot. Like, rubbing elbows and just someone being like, hey, this is going to happen. So let's do this. Let's buy this. Let's buy this. Like she's taking out loans. She's doing all this shit. You know what I mean? And now she's in the position she is, you know?
And this is not a conspiracy theory for those. Like it really happened. I mean,
yeah, that was real shit.
That's real shit. I'm just saying for like the people that's listening, like, oh, y'all just no, this shit really happened in 2008. Do your research, understand what's going on. If she sat in the chair, you don't think she had that information knowing that this was happening behind the scenes. Now, granted, you got a lot of people going out here getting, the majority of 2008 was pretty much just bad loans. Bank was giving out loans. Like you get a loan. It was like Oprah. Right, like you had no requirements whatsoever. Oh, you got a 430 credit? It's okay. Here's a loan. Go buy you a $600,000 home, right? But then that just triggered a lot of bad business, and they knew those bailouts was going to happen. I mean, even during this recession, I'm gonna call it, right? We're banking on the real estate sector to pretty much carry us. Because if they wasn't carrying us, if people weren't around buying homes, et cetera, our economy would be so shit right now.
Yeah.
It would be so bad right now.
Absolutely.
It's bad, but it would be really, really bad.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, do you think maybe, like, so for example, 2008, they left it up to the banks. Mm-hmm. The banks would just loan out money, right? But do you feel like there's a relationship with what happened in 2008, right? Almost 15 years ago to now, to where instead of giving the banks the money to just give out for this recession, they're doing it under federal policy, aka, right? What's that shit called when you don't work?
Stimulus checks, unemployment.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like instead of just the loan, like, because right now, like banks and stuff, they're really not approving too much. Like they're approving a little bit, but they're trying to like wipe student loan debt and shit. Like they're kind of taking the power away from the banks, but they're giving a lot of free money away.
They are
a lot. Do you feel like maybe in the future that's the next move? They're just taking it under their own hands. Like, hey, if we got to give this much money away, we're going to do it and be the good guys.
You want me to tell you what I really think in the future what's going to happen?
Please, I really want to hear it.
This is one world currency. Please say one world.
No, I think DeFi finance is gonna take over brick and mortar banking. No, I really believe cryptocurrency once more institutional money gets behind it, and more people start investing into cryptocurrency and starting to understand the actual power of being decentralized from centralized banking. And there's already platforms in DeFi finance that give better rates than Wells, JP Morgan, Chase, et cetera, et cetera. Once people start understanding how to use those tools and resources and getting that knowledge, I think in the next 10, maybe even 20 years, hell, it might not even be in our lifetime, cryptocurrency will surpass brick and mortar banking. Once people get that, I mean, let's be 100% honest, right? Banks only make money as long as we're holding money in the bank, or if we're requesting money for as loans, car loans, et cetera, people not paying their bills on time in the sense of overdrafts or even late charges, right? That's where banks majority get their money from. Once people understand, like, hey, if I can start putting my money over here, getting a better return on my money, what do I need a bank for, right? If I'm over here using in DeFi where I can take out a loan or leverage against crypto assets that I have for a better opportunity to make more money, or using these DeFi credit cards that are partnered up with Visa and MasterCard and debit cards, and I'm earning Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever at a 2 to 3 to 4% clip just using the card, or even understanding staking and rewards where I put X amount of dollars into a staking pool and I can earn up to 9% a year. Once people start understanding that, what are we going to need a bank for? Like, what are we really going to need to start putting our money over there for? Right. So that's what I think once the education comes in and it's being the infrastructure is being in place. They say by 2025, there will be 1 billion people trading in cryptocurrency.
Wow.
I love the stock market. I love the crypto market a lot more because the stock market has been proven of manipulation from higher ups. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can make money. Yes, you can get a return. But I'm pretty sure you guys have heard on social media or even part of cryptocurrency, the returns are way more. So building that We're going to fill in that economy, that financial gap between the super rich and the common folk like me and you sitting here. So I personally think in 10, 15, I'll say 20 years, right? DeFi finance is going to replace traditional banking. You can't fight the internet. You can't fight the tech. You can't fight technology. No. Think about where we came from having 8 tracks to CD players, to Walkmans, to iPads, to iPods, to cell phones. I mean, shit, some of y'all might be old enough, but how did we used to do video? Handycam, Sony. That big shit, you know what I'm saying? That big ass shit you had to like hold with like your elbow in your hand.
10,000-pound camera.
Now you can do everything on your cell phone, 4K, 8K.
Slow-mo.
Yeah, slow-mo, all that stuff. So you can now outrun technology and innovation. Cryptocurrency is technology and innovation. It ain't just meme coins of sheep and Doge. A lot of these projects that I'm invested in AI that are working with some of these robotic programs current to date. So once people start getting into that, doing their homework and research and understanding that information, man, we don't need no fucking Wells Fargo and Chase. Bro, I don't even use, like, I'm going on a tangent, my bad, but you're good. I'm on some fuck the bank shit, bro. I don't keep no money in the bank unless I'm paying bills with that. Yep. Everything else, man, I have it in crypto.com, Coinbase, because I have debit cards there and I stake and regain rewards. Matter of fact, I just bought season tickets to the Clippers. Clippers play in the crypto.com arena. I'm not a Clippers fan, but the Lakers got me on the watch list for like 5 years on a wait list. I bought my season tickets there. I earned 4% each month that I pay for that season tickets. I get 4% on my crypto.com card in their native token of Cronus, 4%. So you know what I'm saying? So if I got my money in a bank, only on the national average for bank interest account or savings, high interest savings account, 0.001%. You can do your own research and go look it up. I think Wells Fargo offers 0.01%. If you had $20,000 into that account, how much you making at the end of the year? $2.
I was like, hold on.
Am I doing math?
I gotta do some. My brain was gearing.
Make it $2. If you was to hold that $20K in the bank for the whole year, they giving you a $2,000. They're gonna send you an email saying, "Congratulations, you made a dividend check. Congratulations, you earned $2 for holding $20K." During that whole time you was holding that money, some banks are, and it's in the fine print in your contract, can hold up to 80% of your money to put into investments for themselves or loan out to other people. If you ever got to go to the bank and pull out $20,000 in one day, they're going to tell you you're going to need how many days?
30.
2 days, 48 hours
2 days.
Get your money. But if you was to go on look in your bank statement and do on the ATM or even look on your phone, it's going to say you got $20,000. You telling me it's going to take me 2 days to get my money out that I'm looking at right here on my app?
Well, yeah, the pending law.
So anyway, man, I digress.
I love that.
That was great. No, I was glad to hear about that.
I love that, but I want to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Electric money is already out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we play devil's advocate, Chuck, welcome to the episode. I didn't see it come in there at first. Chuck, this is Shooter Man, old guest from last season, and he is killing it with the crypto and stock talk here.
So yeah, man, I lost 20 G's in the crypto market, but I still believe it.
You lost 20 bandos?
20 bands.
For goddamn.
Man, were you buying at all-time highs?
Like a fucking idiot.
Man, we gotta talk, bro. You buy green candles, dog. You buy green candles, man. You get big red dildos, man.
They was red. No, Joe, check it.
You gotta look for the reversals.
The shit was the candles was red. I was buying crypto all the way down.
Oh, you was catching that knife, man. Slit your hand.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's about to reverse. It's about to turn around. Here come Christmas for Crow. What was that? Oh God, -5%. Well, it was like a +5.
Yeah.
And then the next day it was -5%. I was like, oh, this is stupid. This is stupid. And I was like, let me hold on, keep on buying because I messed up. You know what I mean? What was it? February 27th?
Yeah.
Of 2020, maybe 2020. Yeah, man, February 27th, 2020. That's when the stock market crashed. Everything on an all-time high. I was like, damn. I remember that day.
Yeah, man.
Because I held on. I was in ZOM. Man,
Let me ask you. So you just mentioned Zom, and I'm I'm curious. I'm very curious. Sorry to hijack y'all show for a second.
That's another 20 bands. I'm just a loser.
How did you get into Zom? Or where did you hear about Zom?
You get into Zom just like you get into anything else. So check.
No. I mean, like, did you hear
I'm so
that
serious.
from my social? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, yes, just like from everybody else, just like everybody else. Everything else is you get the information from social media. So they're like, Zom about to come out with these chips for animals and diagnose diabetes in pets. I'm like, dang, pets get diabetes? Okay, this must be something new. You know what I mean? I am a man's, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
He buys Zom at, I don't know, 40 cents or something like that. Zom at $2. So he's like, oh, I'm trying to tell you. Okay, so let me buy Zom then. All right. So by the time I decide to wake up and actually scratch my ass and buy Zom,
nice.
It's at 340, something like that, or whatever. Zom hits to like 4.7. He sends a text message. Zom going to $7. Oh, say less. He sends me a link, and then I click on the link. We watch the video about Zom. I get excited. Oh, time to dump it in there. Let's put that money in there. Wait for that $7. What happened? It goes to like, I don't know, maybe 4.10, like 3 cents.
Yeah.
And then I said, let me put it away, because I know how I am. So I put it away, close the app, whatever. Tell myself I'm gonna stop looking, just give it a chance. By the time I get back up in that motherfucker, Zom is 80 cents.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
So I sold it and sent it to the casino.
So check me out, man. Check me out.
You played it. You gambled twice.
Yeah. There you
Right. Hey man, at least I had more money with the casino.
I probably would have did the same thing, man. I flipped last night. I flipped $60 into $600 at the casino. And
what were you playing?
Lightning Link. I got a theory, man. I got a method. I got a theory. That's another discussion. That's another podcast.
Okay.
I want to play devil's advocate a little bit about the crypto world, just a little bit. And I'm going to give you three major things that are eventually, because I 100% agree with you, man. I bought my entire home gym, right, was bought off of cryptocurrency. Like, it was trading crypto. And I was like, you know what, man, I just came up easy $3,000, instant gratification. I'm on a gym. I bought it. Right.
Yep.
So I feel it. I'm 100% on board with crypto. And I truly do believe in everything you're saying. 100%. Okay. I'm on your side. But my brain being my brain, I'm going to bring up three major things that I believe are going to be the timepiece to the crypto world before it takes over, because I do believe it's going to take over. All right. So the timepiece number one is security. Okay. So people right now are in a mindset where they believe 100% that, of course, everyone, because I have a DeFi wallet as well, right? But of course, I would love to like direct deposit $8,000 a fucking month into a fucking DeFi wallet, right? But that is also going to fluctuate up and down depending on where the crypto market is, even though we all know the crypto market is growing.
Sure.
However, if I deposit it into a bank, there are laws in place, right? And there are statements in place and there's contracts in place to where you may get a low dividend in the return. However, you also are guaranteed that that money is in fact your money and it's not going to move up or down. It's like a stalemate kind of thing. So I'm going to say the first thing is security, right? People deposit their stuff into security because there's federal laws in place, even though it's the Federal Reserve. We all know it's bullshit. There's federal laws in place where at least at the end of the day, they're saying, this is your money. You got your money. Boom. What I don't like about that law is overdraft fees and all this other shit. That's kind of like, bullshit. But I'm going to say security is number one. The second thing I'm going to say, right, it kind of ties into number one, is the fluctuation, right? You drop, kind of like Chuck's story over here, right? You drop money into something, you throw it into your DeFi wallet, you purchase some crypto. The next thing you know, that crypto tanks, you're out of the crypto. So insecurity of inflection, whatever, right?
Let's be fair. Chuck gave us two examples, and one of them was in the stock market.
True.
And that fluctuates as well, too. But go ahead. That's two. I just had to throw that in.
100%. Love it. 100%, right? Three, the third thing I'm going to say is literally a mindset, bro. I feel like the banks have just been around so long that it's going to take generations on generations on generations for that paradigm shift, which is happening right now. You know, we kind of talked about it on the podcast, but as of now, everybody defaults to the bank, one, because of lack of knowledge, but two, because of the insecurity and uncertainty and inflection of how people preach crypto. So until like, you know, it's really like, I cannot pay my car bill right now, or my car payment. Let's say, well, I don't really have a car payment, but like, let's say I have a car payment, right?
Okay.
Is BMW going to take from my DeFi wallet? Like, that's research you got to look, like, not all vendors. But the best part is like those cards that you said, you get a 4% back every time you use a card, like a credit card. You can also direct transfer cash to that card. And I know that card kind of works like a debit card in a way, but do certain companies associate with the DeFi wallet? Is it accepted everywhere? Because right now banks are accepted, you know?
So, okay. So going back to, let's go to your first point, security. So security and the insurance policy in place for like banking. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Cryptocurrency is definitely the wild, wild west, right?
Yep. For
me, it depends on what you're invested in. Now, I'm not saying that Bitcoin and Ethereum and all those can't be hit with hackers, et cetera, right? But if you're buying shit coins, right, these meme coins, these pump and dump plays, yeah, you're going to get taken for a ride, especially if you don't know how to get it. If you don't get in early enough or get out. But to that point, a meme coin play ain't nothing but a penny stock, because those penny stocks don't last as well too. But security, I would say, for inexperienced crypto people that are trying to get into crypto, my first suggestion to you is get a cold wallet, get a nano ledger, and put all your crypto off the exchange and possess it into your cold wallet. It looks like a thumb drive. You've probably seen in some of them James Bond movies where they got the briefcase with the thumb drives, and everybody get you a cold wallet, secure your crypto. Because at the end of the day, if it's on the exchange, you don't own that crypto, right? And that goes to Jimmy's point. It's like, okay, well, you don't own it. But just give me an example as far as in the sense of how to secure your bags correctly. Move it off the exchange. Buy it on the exchange, move it to your ledger. I have several ledgers in various places. I have a lot of ledgers, actually, and all of them hold purpose for different types of stuff. I keep no crypto unless I'm spending or using a stable coin to pay for things or whatever the case may be. But I use my big like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. Those type of crypto plays are not even on the exchange and probably won't even see an exchange. So that's one way to fight against the security. Now, is that 100% in a sense of like being hack proof or whatever the case may be? I personally haven't heard anyone's hard code wallet being hacked. I've heard of people losing or forgetting their passcodes or phrases, because you have these private phrases.
That happened to me.
You got to keep up with your stuff. Write it down. They tell you to write it down. They give you 3 pieces of paper to write it down. You just got to secure it, right? You see, just if you have money in the vault, in your wall, in a bank, in your house, you're not just gonna leave the money sitting around the house. Secure it. Put it up somewhere. SEC is getting involved. They're trying to put regulations on it. They're trying to help the investor. They're gonna, whatever happens out of that happens, right? But yes, the security measures, it's a little shaky, but there's ways to fight against that. To your second point, the fluctuation of these projects, I agree with you. There are 80% swings in any direction at any given day, but they also have stable coins where they're pegged to $1. USDT pegged to $1. USDC pegged to $1. Buds pegged to the dollar. Right? Again,
they can fail.
They can, but
they can.
You gotta understand,
Luna fucked me up.
But the thing about it is, Luna was built on his own base, on his own blockchain. Luna has some other stuff going on with it. When you're talking about USDT, Tether, that's off of the Ethereum blockchain. You think all that institutional money that's in Ethereum right now is going to unpeg USDT? Hell no. USDT and USDC ain't going nowhere unless they just shit out the whole cryptocurrency market, which I doubt it, because it's so much big money.
I doubt it too.
In Bitcoin and Ethereum. I mean, you're talking about a 2 trillion at its high, 2 trillion market. 64% of that is Bitcoin. Most of that money is from Nancy Pelosi and all them type of people, right? Big boys got money in it. So what I'm saying is that even though that the price fluctuates, if you got your money in the stock market's down 80%.
And Bitcoin's down 60. We just fucked up, dog.
I mean, the economy,
We just fucked up.
The markets are shit right now. But this is the best time to buy. It's the best time to buy.
It is the
best time to buy. Why everyone is like, oh, you got money, you're losing money in crypto, you're losing in stock. This is the perfect time that you should be dollar cost averaging to anything if you walk in a Foot Locker right now and all the Jordans was 80% off, you telling me you're not about to fill up your cart on all the Jordans that you ever wanted was 80% off. You telling me, I mean, retros, Travis Scott's, whatever was 80% off. You not about to go buy that?
No, sir.
No,
I like
no,
paying
sir.
full price.
I don't give a fuck about Jordan.
What about my point is that I'm using that as an example of people, but there's billions of people that do. And there's billions of people that will look at that 80% off and will run and go get them shoes. It can be 80. It can be if you're Rolex, a Lamborghini, a house, like whatever, 80% off anything that you ever wanted. You telling me that you're not going to run and go get that?
Yep.
So
no, I would. I absolutely would.
If you flip your mindset and start thinking about long-term investing, this is where millionaires are actually made in these type of markets. Smart money has been getting rich off since this whole stock market been a thing. This is where you make your big bucks. So back to Jimmy's point. Yes, the market goes up and down. They're stable coins. You can take your profits out and play it in and place it into that stable coin. Again, you can cash out. If you want to take profits, take your money and put it back into a bank, whatever the case may be. You have different options. And then your last point, what was it, Jimmy? I'm sorry.
Paradigm shift.
Oh, so generational, right? Yeah, it's definitely going to take some time for us to get there, right? Old people get stuck in their ways, right? Yep. They don't want to use. Think about when the typewriter was there, and they was like, "Hey, we about to do keyboard and computer." I don't want to do that. I got my typewriter; it works just fine. Like, nah, Grandpa. You know what I'm saying? And even with computers and the innovation of technology, right? So yeah, it's going to take time for people to get in their mindset that okay, digital currency is here, right? Education is the most important thing. The one thing I will say about this generation, a lot of people don't like this generation. They think they're lazy, they don't work, et cetera, et cetera. They're very smart when it comes to technology and how to use this shit.
Yes.
And they know their value at an early age. Yep. So if you think about, there's so many 18-year-old investors, stock market and crypto, right? They're going to push the change. And it's in a sense, you get down or lay down because the change is going to happen. And you ought to get left behind, like your parents who don't know how to, and I'm not saying all parents, but parents that don't know how to text or learn how to text and just every sentence is an emoji because they're excited because they're using emojis. Shout out to my mom. Like
you're taking, you're
shout out to mom.
You're hitting home, man.
But you come on, man. Y'all know y'all got, man.
It's true.
My pops used to send those emojis like after every sentence. I'm like, come on, pops. Rest in peace, pops. But
rest in peace.
But no, it's gonna take fresh ideas, being open-minded, and understand that a change has to be. We have to break off this centralized backing of how we look at finances.
100%.
And until then, when people complain, bro, like I sit back and I'm just like, you complain, but they're using the same laws and regular. Like you can use the same techniques they're doing. And I understand it's not fair, man. They've been playing on third base and we're not even up to bat. But this is giving us an opportunity to get up to bat and get a single, get a double. We can close the gap, but you gotta educate yourself, right? At the end of the day, you just can't go willy-nilly into none of the markets, man. You got to know what you're doing because unfortunately you're going to lose paper. You're not going to dollar cost average. And I asked you, Chuck, about XR. The reason why I asked you about ZOM, because I remember they were talking about it on social media and YouTube and everybody was trying to get ZOM pumped up. And I'm sitting back like, don't nobody know anything about an animal and chips that they're like, it didn't make sense. And nobody did their research, but everybody was talking about it. And people just jumped in free will, and then everybody got hit. So
I did do my research. I went to the Zion website. That's about as far as it went. I was like,
research. But what I mean by research,
motherfuckers is making money. You know what I mean? And it was going good. And I'm thinking that the stock market. I said this is the generation that's finally getting involved in the stock market. So with that, after the stock market turned, the crypto started blowing up. oh, okay. Let's all do this then. You know what I mean? With the Doge, I still have Doge Elon Mars. I still got 1 billion coins of that because I wanted to, be a billionaire and something. But it's a meme coin. It's a meme coin.
It's definitely
And everything is down 60 and 70% for sure.
I mean,
so if I want to tell everybody, invest with caution, man. Fuck this shit. Because with DeFi, until you pull your money out, it takes 28 days. And during those 28 days, I was trying to withdraw my money. That shit was still tanking. I pulled it out at the bottom, and I'm just one of the ones that got scarred. If you one of the ones that got your coins, G, I'm proud of you. And I'm obviously, we splitting the coin heads and tails right now.
sure.
And I didn't give up. I ain't saying fuck crypto. I didn't give up. I just got hit in the mouth with it.
I think it
happens.
I think it's all about you don't know what you don't know, but the more you know, the better, right? So it comes down to education. There's definitely a huge movement going in what I believe the right direction because let's face it, man, America wasn't really founded off the best principles, right? And we're kind of learning as we're growing. We're one of the youngest countries to be alive, but when it comes to advances, moving forward, and how fast we're accelerating. We literally have robots that are taking over jobs. Like the shit is so insane that if you fail to adapt, you are going to fail. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So I do believe it is going to go in the crypto direction, regardless if it's a one world crypto or not, which I think is, but yeah, man, you just got to get educated early, early on. Fuck, bringing it back to Nancy Pelosi, she's like in her 80s and she's a fucking millionaire because
no, she's like 200 years old. That's yeah.
So Nancy Pelosi's at least.
It's a rumor that she drinks vampire blood at least once a week
and eats baby fetus. We know. So she's up there. She's very old, man. But as you go through life, you kind of catch trends, and if they can do it, we can do it, regardless if it's on a market that we're comfortable with in the present, or regardless if it's going to be a market that everyone will soon be comfortable with in the future.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, my closing statement is that everybody just gain knowledge, and with knowledge, you need understanding, because you can have all the knowledge without understanding, you still like in the same place. So if it's stock market, learn about the stock market ins and outs. If it's the crypto market, learn about crypto. And my best advice is never take advice from people off the internet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you got it. And if you do your research in the sense of see if that company's profitable or not, and learn what their balance sheets look, what their earnings look like, what are their revenues, what are their debts look like, what are they like. You got to like really break it down, the numbers, and you got to look at the numbers, right? You got to look at the numbers to see if they're profitable or not, and then look at the chart and zoom all the way out the last 10 years. If their chart price action has been hanging off to the bottom right, that's slang for meaning unprofitable stocks. If they've been hanging out to the bottom right of the chart, you might not want to put money into that. And if they've been a growth stock, I put it like this: if you're investing in stocks, keep it simple, stupid. If you don't want risk, ETFs. If you invest in the Qs, which is the tech ETF fund, you're investing in a small percentage of major companies like Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, etc. Put your money there. If you want to get into a bigger, that's 100 top companies in that tech aspect for the Qs. If you want to do 500 companies, get into the Standard & Poor's, also known as SPY. You buy into that ETF. You're buying 500 companies, a piece of each of those companies. So what I mean by that is if you go to Sam's Club or Costco and you want a bag of chips, they usually have the variety bag. If you buy the variety bag, you got Lay's, you got Plain Jones, you got Doritos, you got cheddar cheese, whatever, right? You just got a bunch of different ones. That's the way that these ETFs are. So if you want to take the smart route, go that route. If you don't, and you want to invest in single stocks, look at growth stocks, look at blue chip stocks, like invest into profitable companies. Do you want to take a risk and play with some penny stocks, meaning under $5 stocks? Sure. Let that be 2% of your portfolio. Don't put all your womp into one small stock. Spread it out, diversify your portfolio. Same thing with crypto. 25% Bitcoin, 35% blue chips, Ethereum, Solana, AMD, Polkadot, XRP, whatever. 10% DeFi finance. look at 10% in ETF platforms, not just I'm not talking about ETF, the pitchers. That's a whole nother segment, something I can talk about. The platforms that's going to support ETFs. If you're going to do meme coins, let that be 2% because it's super valuable and you'll get wrecked. Yeah, man, that's all I got, bro.
No, man,
go get my book, man. Go get my book, bro.
Well, we're gonna go around and do. I loved it. I love the knowledge you give us. And don't worry, we're gonna bring it, all around to everyone. But yes, we're past time. And that's fine. We had a lot of fun stuff to talk about, a lot of interesting stuff.
It was a good podcast.
It was a great podcast.
Very educational.
You're an amazing guest. But I'm going to go ahead and give it to everyone here to do, their last minute plugs. Stephanie, you got any last minute plugs for us?
Yes, I do. So this past week, I got my nails done by the one and only Tita. Yeah, I know every single time I get my nails done, I always shout out my nail tech. So if you're on Instagram and you guys live in New York City, if you're in the Bronx area, look up Tita. It's Tita Nails. She's on Instagram. She's absolutely freaking amazing. Just recently, I had a photo shoot and I worked with a photographer. His name is Don and his Instagram is D period O period N period D photos. And also, if you're in the Queens area, you can definitely look up Chasey Flicks. That's CHASEYFLIX.
I think her phone died. Oh man, poor Stephanie. No, we hopefully she could text us or get back in here. But all right, that was half of Stephanie's plugs. Jimmy, you got any last minute plugs for listeners? That's hilarious.
Oh man, I had so much to say on that thing whenever something. But anyway, man, I just want to give a good plug, man, to the Chargers. Good job so far, 27-24. It's a really close game. And then Chicago Bears, 12-20. Sorry, Chuck.
This is gonna sound, I hate
the game's
doing
over?
this. No,
it's not over yet. It's fourth quarter, but I just wanted to say,
we're not coming back.
Jimmy, I hate doing this because you're saying the current score of a game for an episode that's not going to drop until Wednesday. So it's like no one's hearing this live right now. Like we're going to know the outcome of the games by Wednesday.
Falcons are above the Browns, 23-20.
Oh boy.
That would be dope.
What's up? Fourth quarter. A minute and 57 seconds left. So
and look at the fucking Bills. They brought it back. Exactly what I told you. It's 2020 now.
Yeah, the Bills brought it back, man. Fuck the Bills, man.
I know, fuck the Bills, but I mean, I told you not to work fucking.
There's like five. There's like six. Anyway, man, whatever. Listen,
Josh Allen's on a war.
This is Josh Allen's a beast, but this is nothing more than a timestamp in time. So whenever we review the audio clip and we listen to it, it's going to be amazing. But anyway. Last minute plugs, Mermsy. I already know that you do it the best. You kind of plug everybody in at the end. I just wanted to give a little bit of insight, man. Shooter, thank you so much, man, for coming on, dude. Your knowledge, your expertise is like very, very well. I love it. Love everything you did, man. Thank you so much.
No, man, I appreciate you guys, man. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it's always a great time having you. Well, actually, before we get into mine and Shooters, Chuck, you got any last minute plugs for listeners? In studio comedian.
Just find us on Instagram, at Topaz Can. Topaz Can on some YouTube if you want to get some laughs. Look at some what's the V word I'm looking for?
Some booty?
Vintage.
Oh, vintage.
No, I said V word.
We got a lot of we're still getting love on our YouTube.
Yeah. Facts. Look at some vintage. Yeah, this is true. Look at some vintage comedy skits. If you're tired of Saturday Night Live and you want to see something funny, go there. other than that, sorry I'm late. The mattress took me out.
I heard. I looked at that.
I wish it was some booty that took me out.
Oh man,
so cool to be like, I was slapping cheeks and they knocked me out, but that would be great.
Next time.
Next Sunday.
Well, thank you, Chuck. We love having you on. You're always hilarious. We love having you on. You're always welcome. And my last minute plugs before we get into our honored guest, of course, you can follow me, Christian Merms, on Instagram. That is my private Instagram. So, it's locked to the public. So if you really want to follow it, I'll check you out and see if you're an actual real person, not someone trying to scam me, and I will accept it. But the one I really want you to follow is Great Morning _ the podcast on Instagram. That is the Great Morning podcast Instagram. That's where we will tell you who's going to be, new guests or, returning guests or new episodes, new specials. All that is on there. We post on it. We post on the stories. So go check that one out. Give that one a follow, please. We really enjoy it when you do that. And you can follow Slightly Special with 2 L's on the end. You can follow Trip God Jimmy. That is TrypGodJimi on Instagram. You can follow You Love Steph on Instagram. You can follow Steffi __0 on TikTok. You can follow You Love Steph now on OnlyFans, so go check that out. And of course, get your merchandise at shopgreatmorning.com. Again, that is shopgreatmorning.com. It's getting colder, guys, so we got some sweatshirts for you. So go ahead and get a sweatshirt, or a t-shirt, I don't know. You might live in fucking Aruba, I get it. You don't need a sweatshirt. So go get a t-shirt then. But yes. And one last thing. We announced it in the last episode, of course. But just in case anyone missed it, we definitely know what our next special is going to be, and it is, of course, the Halloween Spectacular Part 4. All right, we're doing it again this year. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We got a lot planned for that. So please check that out, and that, of course, will drop on Halloween, so you don't have to wait to hear a date from us. That's on Halloween, baby. That one comes out. But yes, that'll probably be our last special of the year too, before we get into, of course, our season finale. So we hope you enjoy it. We're going to work really hard at it, and it's going to be a great time. So go check it out when it drops. But other than that, that was my last minute plugs. Shooter, my man, thank you so much for coming on. I myself am going to be getting involved in a lot of this soon, but I have to wait until something in my life is I'm done doing it, and I will tell you exactly what that is when we stop recording, so it doesn't sound so weird. But yes, I am. Obviously, I'm going to contact you because you know exactly what you're talking about. You're very well spoken on this. You're very knowledgeable of this subject, and you're a really great guy in general. And we love it. We love having you on. So please come back and please give us your last minute plugs, man.
Man, first and foremost, man, I appreciate you guys for the invite back. We definitely kicked the shit last time, and this was good as well too. So I appreciate y'all. Always a big fan of what y'all doing. I'm not just saying that. Continue to do what you guys are doing. You're doing good work. So shout out to you guys. Yeah, man, if y'all want to follow me, man, all my social media, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, IG, Facebook, all of them, WallStShooter. Come get tapped in, man. Tap in with the stock market. I'm an options trader during the day, long-term investor. And I'm very big into cryptocurrency and DeFi, earning passive income, and also mining. I also do crypto mining as well. If you want to be part of my Discord, I have a Discord community. We talk about investing, different investment opportunities. We talk about different plays. I don't signal plays as far as the stock market. I rather teach you how to fish, because if I decide to shut down the Discord, at least you have the knowledge to go out and do it your damn self. So I have that Discord community as well. I just dropped a book on last week. It's called How to Crypto. It's an 18-page ebook, and I made over an hour video guide that talks about the ebook from page to page. I also show you how to build your own wallets, sign up for crypto, different resources and sites that I use. Pretty much just bonus content. So right now, that's available on Gumroad. Also, the link is in any of my bios on social media. You click that. It's pretty simple. Click the link in the bio. The book is there on Linktree. Click it, purchase it, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got, man. Shout out to everybody out there that's securing those bags for sure.
And bags, kid.
Yeah. Thank you so much, man, for coming on. It's always an honor having you. And listen.
The Falcons just won. Let's go.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay, cool.
Shout out to the Falcons. Let's do it.
Shout out to the Falcons. One last plug.
Oh yeah, there you
go.
My
bad, Christian.
No, you're great. You said it really quickly, and I'm like, wait, what did he just say? And I was like, oh, okay, I processed it. It took me a second, but no, great. That's fantastic. And again, we love having you on. Thank you for coming. And that was our episode, guys. Great morning.
Appreciate it.
Great morning. What? All right.
Great morning.
Great morning.
Great morning.